and those who assist. And it's a message for all my bros still in struggle, and those who assist and walk by them. Thank you and don't give up on us. The many injustices taking place behind the walls in the name of job security. So I just wanted to share that light and feel so you can understand the evil that men do. Due to all these laws changing, men and women are coming home lowering the entire CDC population, meaning less inmates equals less money equals less jobs. So how do they counteract that? Right now, they're forcing general population inmates to integrate with protective custody inmates, all the while knowing the outcome will be major conflict leading to the denial of lifers' release dates due to circumstances they had no say or part in. More inmate denials mean more money in their pockets. So put two opposing parties in a cage and forcefully start them, basically put them in the bowl and watch them fight. Whatever happens, happens. Next, start DNA testing policing again. You'll see the evil that men do. You guys voted for Proposition 57 and have improperly dictating the way it's being carried out, imposing rules and laws to counteract impending mass release. Also, in the visiting room, they have vendors who sell us and our families $7.50 salads, $7.50 for a small container of fruit, $5.25 for 4 little chicken wings, and buying in bulk from outlet stores like Dollar Tree and 99-cent store, then reselling in prison for inflated rates. Again, forcing people to visit for 8 hours drinking water due to economic inflation. And in closing, I'm free. I am free. I'm so happy. So happy. I'm going to do it. I'm going to survive. But shouts out to Harvey Levins and TMZ. We loved y'all in there. What up, Van? KurtHim.com. Kurt Him Facebook. And Dirty Weather IG. Hit me.
I've been sharing stories and it's been seeming like it's one way and all that. But don't get it twisted, nigga. There's stories where niggas took L's and shit. Nigga, one time, nigga, I was in Solano level 3 yard, but then it goes down. It goes down so much, nigga, I came from a level 4 to Solano, level 3, and nigga, I was in a hole in 2 weeks for a ride with the Southsiders. So, on top of that, we was on lockdown for riots with the Northerners. So every 90 days, somebody has to mandatory come off a lockdown. Every 90 days. So we was guaranteed a riot every 90 days, either with the Southsiders or the Northerners. And this is in 05. So I ended up catching a staff assault. That's a different story. But I catch a staff assault. I'm going to the hole for about 11 months. So I get back on the yard. I'm with the homie up against the wall, the homie from the hood, and I'm letting him hear some of my songs and shit. I'm letting him hear my shit, nigga. I've been in the hole right, check me out. So all of a sudden, we up on against the building, all of a sudden, a pack of like 5 Southsiders, they come around the corner. But they would understaff escort because we on lockdown already because they didn't, I guess the blacks and the Southsiders got into it on the basketball court. So after so often, you got to let them off of lockdown so they can move around, control movement. So that's with an escort. So when they come around the corner, I see him, I'm telling the homie, I said, what is them, Northerners or Southsiders? He was like, I don't know. I said, well, shit, I'm on point. So they go to the building like they about to go in the building because the police about to let them in the building. Next thing you know, man, the ones in the back, they got to whispering some shit. I seen it though. I told them, watch. Next thing they broke. Bam. One ran at me. When I seen a knife, shit, I ran at him like, man, fuck this shit. Nigga, he ain't about to cut me up. So nigga, I run to him. We start thumping. And I slipped. When I slipped, he got on top of me. He was trying to give me the business. He was, man, it was a tug of war with the motherfucker with his wrist because he was trying to, So Next thing I slipped. I mean, I was helpless almost. Next thing you know, some blacks came and helped me, got that motherfucker off me, got him up off me. When we did our motherfucking thing, but still, I didn't even know these blacks that came to help me. Then one of the dudes that was in it was a zebra killer. Rest in peace now. Well, one of them. But shit, he was a legend in that motherfucker too. He did his motherfucking thing. Then there was a couple other dudes. They did their thing. One dude, the drunk dude, he got punched all in his back. They put him in a cell with me, and this motherfucker had blood coming out his eyes, like tears of blood. I don't even know how that happens. But this homie, he was the one I was rapping to. When the smoke cleared, after we was doing our thing with the one that tried to cut me, we go to the side, bam. When the smoke cleared from all the little blocks and all that shit and the pepper spray, that nigga, we heard the police went over to the homie, was like, hey, we need a gurney for this one, stat. Man, my homie got sliced. Like, he got sliced all in the face, all in the neck, all in the back. So, man, when I seen it and when he stood up, man, he looked like Zipper Face. Fucked me up. Then when they took me to the hospital, we was passing by. Cause they had me cuffed up. But then we walking by and he in the bed. And they moved a little bit and he had like gauze on his neck. When he moved a little bit, man, blood came out. I was like, oh, hell no. So, man, it just like I can do some real shit or it can get real. It goes both ways. Dirty weather, go. So it'd be lessons from everything. One time, man, I had to run the cold with everything. Being young, not knowing. It's a such rule in there called gambling on your ass. So it started like this. So the dude, I was gambling with my Hoover partner. And man, I'm hitting him. It's about to be yard time, but I'm hitting him. I get up like $100. So he come back. But I asked him, I'm like, if you get me up $100, how much you gonna charge me? He said, I'm gonna charge you half. So I blogged that in my mind. He charged me half. That's good. That's a real nigga. So next thing you know, a week go forward a week. Now we shooting again. But this nigga gets me up $100. I'm like, so I got like $50 canteen and shit. So my credit line to 100. This nigga give me the like 150. I'm like, I got 75. It's nothing. Then this nigga give me the like 200. I'm like, shit. And they about to call yard. I ain't about to be able to get my money, get my issue back. This nigga's up on me. Man. So when he go to the yard, right? Cause he like, I gotta go. The homies. It's a meeting. I gotta go. So, man, when he gets back from the yard, cause I got all the $100 ready for him. They don't open the door, and I'm gonna set it out. Man, he come back in like, check this out, homie. I need everything. I need all the money, everything, every dollar. I'm like, first of all, you're not supposed to be gambling on your ass in prison, period. So I'm in trouble, basically. He didn't trick me. He tricked me. So he like, I need everything. So you can unplug your radio, give me all your CDs. Man, all that, every Walkman, all the shit. I'm feeling like I just got straight robbed, and I did. He played me. So, man, I ended up having to have the homies from Anthony's help me pay off my little debt. Man, I had 100. So I thought I didn't think I was gambling on my ass with that $200 credit line. I didn't think so. But, hey, man, when the homies found out about that one, man, they had me running laps till I looked like Kunta Kinte. I'm talking about like the whole yard. But at the same time, I should have knew better. I shouldn't have trusted his ass to honor what he said. We shooting dice, we gambling. It's up in the pen. People strike when they strike. But hey, that was the first time I got disciplined, and the only time in prison I got disciplined physically. Never. But working out, yes. No. So, Young Dirt here with prison stories again. I don't tell these stories to like glorify. I'm telling you, I don't tell them to glorify. I tell them because I know there's somebody out there that can benefit or learn from my experiences. That's it. That's all I want. I don't want no money. I don't want none of that. I want somebody in motherfucking Croatia to be like, yeah, I'm about to change my life. Because you're looking at somebody that then gave up half their life for motherfucking prison. Half their life for living that life. And you know, hey, I ain't got no regrets, but at the same time, I feel it's people that can learn from what the fuck I've been through and what I be talking about. So this story in particular, I ain't gonna say what prison it is because it's a story where I took an L. So anyhow, man, I'm gonna tell you about this spot though. First off, when I pulled off from Salinas Valley, which was one of the most violent level 4 prisons in California, I finally got my points down. When I first came to prison, I had 59 points. Man, 52 points and lower, you were level 3. It took me 8 years to get from a level 4 down to a level 3. 8 years. It's sad. So anyhow, as soon as I pull up to my very, very first level 3, we on lockdown already with the Northerners. We are already on lockdown because the Northerners, we got into it over a motherfucking soccer game. Soccer ball game, man. You know, shit. Motherfuckers playing soccer and shit. It get a little, it'd be aggression as things coming out. And, you know, one of them got to woofing and the homie flatline. Bam! Knocked him out. You know, his homies did what they were supposed to do and they got active. But while that ride was going on, niggas was in the gym taking their shit. They were taking their motherfucking pants and shoes and shit, they cell phones. So, I mean, how would you feel? You come off a lockdown, this nigga walking around the motherfucking yard with your motherfucking jeans on, with your motherfucking shoes on that your mama didn't buy you. Shit. Man, the motherfucking Northerners niggas set it off again. Shit. They set it off again. They didn't do no plan. So anyhow, while we on lockdown with the Northerners, because they got to come off a lockdown every 30 days. Every 90 days, they got to come off a lockdown. Really, it's every 6 months. But every 90 days, somebody got to come off lockdown because I'm at the weight pile with the homies. We working out, getting our good money. And then we look over by the canteen, and the motherfucking Southsiders then took off on all the OGs over by the canteen going to the store and shit. So being a YG active, we work out. The YGs work out together. So next thing you know, then shit, we go straight to the motherfucking incident. We get to going crazy up in that motherfucker, but really, it was a diversion because nigga, one of their motherfucking shot callers got pin cushions somewhere over on the other side of the yard. That motherfucker, you know the tic-tac-toe? That motherfucker had tic-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac-tac. At the same time, they didn't took off on us. So I mean, it's we ain't even knowing it's a whole bigger picture. But at the same time, shit, motherfucker came out that motherfucker white powder did that goddamn thing. So fast forward, I'm in the goddamn cell. We on lockdown because we got tricked off on, so we ain't gonna lock us down like that. So anyway, I'm in the cell. The homie let me use his use a DVD player, and my other homie let me use a cell phone. And then I got weed, I got lightning, and I got hella shit up in this motherfucking cell. I got a square ass celly. So anyhow, man, I had this celly from that riot.
from that riot with the Southsiders, I had the celly up in the cell with me. He was a Crip. He a Crip, but he up in the cell with me, and it's all good because we just got to some racial shit. So it don't even matter. It don't even matter that we cooning, we gangsters up in this motherfucker. So I told him, I said, man, watch this shit. When we get back to the line, I'm about to do it big. Watch. Man, sure enough, this motherfucker pop up on my cell because he the wine man. He pop up at the cell with some drink. I'm like, shit, nigga, slide me a motherfucking cup. In prison, if you gonna slide somebody a cup and they in the cell and you outside, you take like a plastic bag, like a Ziploc bag, you pour it in the bag, and then he slide it through, shimmy it through the side of the door. So I got me a couple drink, I'm on. I got the phone, I got the DVD player, I'm on. Man, because he kept coming back and looking at the motherfucking cell, and you listen to the word to little Birdie, because the homie that was outside whose phone I had, he kept sending word in like, bruh, send my shit, bruh, send my shit. I got 50 motherfuckers coming to the door like the homie on his shit. So, but this is my first time on the cell phone in prison. First time, so I ain't in a hurry to give it up like that. But out of respect, I gotta wrap it up. But anyhow, police come to the door, and then Solano, they hit the light. Hit the light. They can turn on the light while you in the cell. While you in the cell, they can walk up and hit it like and see you. So I'm in the back in the cuts watching the porn or whatever. That motherfucker light come on. I look, the door open. I'm like, oh shit. I'm talking to my girl at the time. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll talk to you later. So I put the phone in my pocket. I walk up. She like, we need you to. It's a female step. She like, we need you to step out. We need you to step out because we need to search your cell. So I stand up. I had 2 sticks of weed. I grabbed the motherfuckers and eat them right in her face. She like, you going to potty wash too? That's another story. She like, you going to potty wash too? So anyhow, I step out the cell because I didn't already put the phone in my pocket. I didn't ate the weed. I'm worried about DA referrals. That's what I'm worried about. So when I get out the cell, I face the wall. I'm facing the wall for about like 0.2 seconds, and somebody called her. When somebody called her, I hit. Boom! I'm running across the day room. When I'm running across the day room, the bitch chasing me. She like, why you running? I'm like, bitch, why you chasing me? Shit. So I run up the stairs. I run up the stairs and go to a motherfucking cell. I try to slide the phone up under one cell, but the phone, like, it was the cell door, it wasn't big enough. So I slide the phone up under this other cell. Wasn't nobody in there, but the phone go up in the motherfucker. By that time, the police came up the stairs on both sides. They sprayed me. Man.
So the first time I had to
how much would it have been?
Do something. That was the question somebody asked me. So the first time,
all right, I need that, please, because I'm about to take that and tax Dre's daddy. No, I'm just playing.
He was going to basically.
Nah, but if you can snatch that,
all I had to do is
I'll give you what I got, and then I'll be back in 30 minutes with the rest.
Asking people, buying them. I want sugar. Sugar's coming.
Okay, other than that, I got to deal with Wayne Chung and them, and I ain't trying to, because it's all in the north.
If you get the sugar, save it up, you get enough. You want to get like 200-300 packs. Then you can
I heard of them. I don't really know them on personal business, though.
So I'll save it for a week. So when it comes time for him to give me my issue.
Oh, shit. My shit live. Y'all can hear me.
I owe for Crips. So I'm like, man, but what about me? Man, I went in business with you. And you just go disregard me like, little homie, get up out of here? I was like, all right. But I took it on the chin because he's the older homie from the I took it on the chin. So I'm like, man, but fuck it, I want to drink still. I'm still biting into this prison, magic prison.
Smack, goddamn.
So I do it again. Because I'm like, he ain't going to do it twice. He ain't going to play me. Man, When it came time for him to come down, I went to him. He did the same thing.
Nah,
He
y'all
said,
too.
man, I owed them dudes, man. I owed them. I ain't got none. I'm like, hell nah. So I go back to the cell, steaming. I tell my celly, man, this motherfucker didn't play me twice. He was like, what you want to do? I said, I want to rob. And it's a lesson in this story too, so go with me. So I said, I want to rob him. So he was like, what you gonna do? I said, when we go to the chow hall tonight at dinner, we're gonna push in front of everybody, in front of all the other owners, and then I'm gonna just tell the tower, I'm gonna stand in front of his cell with my back to the tower and stick my hand up, and then he'll open the door. Sure enough, it went his plan too. So I shoot back in the building. Bam. I stick my hand up, tower open the door. Man, so when the tower opened the door, shit, I push up in the cell. I'm in there. I see Super 3s. I stacked the Clippers. I think I snatched that. No, I snatched the radio, the Clippers, and the hot pot, some other shit. Remember, I feel just in my actions because this motherfucker didn't play me. Not once, but twice. So next thing you know, as I'm pushing back to the cell with the shit in the pillowcase, the older homies, D Hunt, Talton and Wardell, they walk in the building, they like, what is you doing? I ain't playing. And I go to the cell, close the door. All of a sudden, my celly come back. When he get back, he see that it's shit up in the cell. He open the door. He like, bro, it can't be up in here, though, because they going to come right here if he suspect us. So we take it to the homie DPH. Now, DPH, we just nicknamed him that. That ain't his name. We just nicknamed him that because he had something definitely wrong because he was in the first cell. And in the first cell, he used to keep food on the thing. This nigga had about 50, I'm exaggerating, about 100 flies in his cell inside of a 270 building. I don't even know how that happened, but he had issues. I mean, one time they tried to they moved him up. They moved a dude in the cell with him at like 2:30 in the morning. Right, that's when everybody sleep. And he had been not having a celly up until this time. So next thing you know, when they opened the door for breakfast, he was walking up the stairs with the sheet to tie and while everybody, because when you go to breakfast, you gotta like stand outside the door and then wait for everybody to get situated, then close all the doors, then you start walking. Man, while everybody was standing still, he just walked up the stairs with the sheet, started tying the sheet on the top rail of the stairs, then got to tying it around his neck, and he was like, hey. Hey, man, they ran up there, tackled him and shit. And he was like, man, I just told y'all I didn't want no celly. So, and the DPH didn't have no celly no more. So, anyways, back to the story. So I get this hot stuff, and I give the DPH, like, man, hold this real quick. Hold this. He hold it. I mean, shit, he cool, and we feed him when he hungry. So, man, all of a sudden, the nigga come back. The nigga Marco come back. He go on the he say, hey, where my motherfucking shit? He start going crazy.
Thank y'all for
I'm
coming
inside
through
my cell
and
looking out the window
watching.
like, oh shit.
I appreciate that
He's
shit.
like, where my motherfucking shit?
100,000.
Man, next thing you know, the Mexicans start going to the blacks, the white boys. Everybody start having little powwow meetings and shit, right? I'm seeing this shit get real. So then they go to the blacks. They go to the homies. Now, the older homies see me walk by because I had that shit tucked like an old football or something going in my cell. So they come to the cell. They like, look, blood, y'all niggas going to have to get that shit up. Because these Mexicans talking about they got and wine and other type of shit up in here, man. And they talking about searching the whole motherfucking building. Blood, you going to have to get that shit up. So I was like, well, look, it ain't in this cell. I'll give it to him in the morning. Man, I don't know how, but that nigga seen the homie talking to me, and that nigga Marco came to the cell. My motherfucking shit up in here. Open this door. I'm like, he didn't put me out there. Now he didn't told on me. So now I'm still feeling justified in my actions. So when he do that, I have to get a DPH cell open and shit to go so he can set the shit out. So, man, next thing you know, I tell my celly, I'm about to get this nigga. Fuck that. this is my first time doing so. So we go to the chow hall in the morning for breakfast. This nigga Marco then pushed up on the homie with a little pea shooter. Got the homie all spooked and shit. So they was like, listen. Wait, about to hold the homie. Continuation. Yeah, I woke up. I blew in the goddamn car. The wife gonna be tripping when she can't be. Yeah. So we in the motherfucking. We're gonna go back to when this nigga came to the door. So this nigga come to the door, bang, bang, bang. Man, my shit up in here. So automatically, he didn't put me on Front Street. Yeah, I didn't took the nigga shit. Now, the lesson that I was talking about it is, in prison, you don't steal. I went up in the nigga's cell. I stole, basically. You're not supposed to do it like that. If you gonna take it from him, you gotta take it from him. But you just can't go in there stealing. So don't think from like the first story, like I ain't gonna point that out. Hell nah. I stole, but I didn't know no better. I do now, but I didn't know no better. So anyhow, because this nigga didn't tell the police where the shit was in the cell, I'm like, man, fuck that shit. So I talked to my celly, like, what you want to do? I said, I'm about to get this nigga. I ain't never done no type of dirt in the pen. I ain't never done nothing. But I ain't spooked though, cause I've been fighting all through juvenile hall, county jails, branch. I've been fighting all the way through, so it's nothing. Even though, but this older homie though, it's nothing. So, man, this nigga, when we wake up in the morning to breakfast, we go to breakfast. The plan is this. Same thing, like how we punched in front of the older homies to go shoot, and I got up in the cell. We're gonna do the same thing, push back into the building hella fast, and then be waiting around the corner so that nigga come up in that motherfucker. Right. So, anyhow, so me and my celly about to get him. When we go through the rotunda, he go to the right side, I go to the other. But I don't see my celly, man, so I'm like, damn, where he at, man? All right. So as I go to walk across the rotunda, remember, we walked ahead of everybody. But this nigga didn't caught up. This nigga didn't caught up to us. So if I walk across this rotunda, he gonna see me. Now, when the chow hall, the older homies was like, son, we know you just coming to prison. Okay. We need you to kick back. Best interest to wait. Just kick back and watch how it goes. Right. I'm like, kick back and watch how it goes. I'm like, this is my beef. Well, how much sit back and let somebody else handle my beef? Man, fuck that shit. Okay. So as soon as the older homies gave me them instructions, that's when I went to the other table back with my celly, like, look, we still doing this shit. Let's go. Bam. So we shoot out the building. And then that's how when we get to the building, the plan is he gonna go to one side, I'm gonna go on the other side of the tunnel, and then we connect. But anyhow, the nigga came by when I was looking for my celly. He was coming through the rotunda. I had no choice. So I got on him. Bing, 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 bing. When I get on him, his lunch go one way, his glasses go the other. I'm on him. But this is my first time. But anyhow, so when the alarm go out, I run around the corner. I dive up under some benches in the day room. I like dive up under the motherfuckers. So when the police come up in the building, they only seen him. They didn't see who got on him. So they was like, man, they grabbed the homie. They grabbed the homie Talton. They grabbed Talton like he did it. Took him into the program office. Took Marco to the program office. And that shit, nigga, as soon as they resumed program shit, nigga, I went back to the yard. So this story right here, this is about the hardest white boy that I ever seen. So I ain't gonna say his name, so we just gonna call him Killer. Killer. So I was in the cell with my step pops at the time, D Hunt. Free David Hunt. Free David Hunt out in Florida swamps. Anyhow, man, so I'm trying to get to the yard. This particular day, I didn't went to work. Now I'm trying to get to the yard because I gotta go pick up some some wham whams and things. And I got me a little couple of caps I'm trying to get off anyway. So I'm supposed to buy them. So anyhow, D Hunt's supposed to get outside already, and I'm gonna meet him out there. So I'm at the door. I'm looking outside, trying to plot how I'm gonna get out because they be acting funny on this yard, trying to let a motherfucker outside if you ain't there at yard release. So
I'm looking out the window and this white boy right next to me, and he like, I asked him, "You trying to buy some weed?" But he didn't even look at me. He just kept looking outside like, "No, I don't want to buy no weed from you." I'm like, "Cool." So I get back. So I get out to the yard. I'm out there. It's a regular ass day. I done forgot about this white boy right next to me. It's a regular ass day. D Hunt out there. We ain't fucked up, but we done blew a little stick. So we feeling good. Next thing you know, we look up and we start hearing this sound. We hearing. If you ever heard somebody get stabbed, this is what it sounds like. I was like, so what happened is the Blood Alley handball court is right next to the white boys handball court, right next to it. And they was playing handball, right? We just chilling. Next thing you know, when we hear that sound, we look up, man, this white boy killer then crept up on the white boy, we gonna call him G. Crept up on G while he was playing handball, jumped on his back, stabbed him. He kept on stabbing. I'm talking about he stabbed him like 40 times. Then on top of that, then after he stabbed him, he took the motherfucking knife, threw it over the wall, came back, and started kicking the shit out this motherfucker. He got blood squirting all over. He kicking him now. I'm like, damn, and me and D Hunt, we like right here. We like 5 feet from this shit. 5 feet. We fucked up. So then the police come. Man, they try to save this dude's life. I don't know what happened. They carted him off or whatever. So then we get back to the cell. Man, we didn't talk for like 2 days. I'm like, D Hunt, man, what's wrong, man? Why you ain't talking? Finally, he broke his silence. He like, son, with a straight face. He like, son, that really fucked me up, son. Just the savage nature of it, son. It's too much, son. That was I seen a lot, son, but that was a lot. My young wife, I'm like, shit. It is what it is. What happens? Watching this shit. But when you think about it, in my 39-year-old mind, I look back, I was like, man. Now I'm thinking, I'm like, that's some really fucked up shit to fuck D Hunt up, because that's the OG. So anyhow, fast forward. So about 7 months later, I'm talking to the psych, and I tell him I'm having a bad day. So next thing you know, I come back for the yard. And there's 2 police in front of my cell. They talking about cuff up. I'm like, cuff up for what? They said you talking about hurting yourself. You got to go to the hospital for a few days so you can rest it off or whatever. I said, oh, hell no. They took me to the hospital, put me butt naked in a schmuck, gave me some motherfucking books to read and shit. And then this dude comes by in a walker. And I look, man, my face was like this. Man, it was G. He survived the stabbing attack, man. He got stabbed 40-something times and a stomping by one person, and he survived. He survived. But I ain't gonna lie, this is not to mock him, but this is what happened. I said, damn, I thought you was dead. I said, what? He said, I got stabbed. So what happened is he turned into a vegetable. I mean, because they can't let you out of prison if you fucked up. Like, if you fucked up, you got something wrong with you, like a serious something, like they want to kick you out the same way you came in. And if you ain't right, they'll keep you. And they kept him in the back of this hospital hiding. Because the sad thing is he was like 2 weeks to go home when he got stabbed up like that. I don't know what happened to him after that, but 7 months after the stabbing, I seen him in the hospital and he hadn't went home yet. That's messed up, man. But anyhow, so the white boy killer, they put him in a cell with this dude, right? Man, that was my partner too, man. Why he killed a dude in the cell, in the hole, and then get on the door and yell, "Get this carcass up out of here." What? You kill your cellie and get on the door and yell, "Get this carcass up out of here"? That's crazy. So then they actually put him in a cell with somebody else, and he damn near killed them too. Man, that white boy right there, killer, I wish I could say his name, but killer, that's the hardest white boy I know. Dirty Weather, go.
What's up, everybody? Big Herc fresh out, and you're tuned into our new series, Prison Stories. You're going to hear a story from somebody who's either lived it, witnessed it, or experienced it. These stories are going to turn the hairs on your back up and have your motherfucking toes curling. These stories ain't no fucking joke. You guys think this fucking is a game? This ain't no motherfucking game. Anything could happen to you in prison. And these are prison stories.
Shout out Money Mike from Lincoln. So I'm on a level 4 yard in Salinas Valley. 180. So what it is you on level 4, you got 270, which is a lower level 180. I mean lower level 4. Then you got 180, which is like when you get it fresh out the shoe or whatever, they put you, basically that's a boiling pot of the worst of the worst. So they had me on that yard, and that's where politics is at their highest. So I'm at the hospital at CTC, and this Crip from Raymond come up to me, Boo from Raymond, he like, hey man, what's up with your homie that was disrespecting Crips last night? I'm like, what's up with him? He said, man, look, either y'all get him or we get him. And first off, you don't do that. You don't threaten to get nobody else's homie or nothing like that, or it's gonna pop. So I go back to the yard and I tell the homies, look, hey, the Crip nigga then said that they about to get on the homie Concrete and basically, or it's on. So the homie Pablo T told us, come outside. Everybody come out strapped. So that whole night, me and the homie Money Mike stayed up making knots. We already had a flat, but we had to take the Stay cup, big ass, hard ass plastic cup, and melt that shit down into like a turd. Basically, yeah, I mean, basically a prison knife is basically when you melt some plastic down, and when you melt it and you burn it and roll it, because you take it, well, I ain't gonna get into it, but you take it and you melt it and you roll it, and then the fire turns it black. So that's why we call it a turd. And then a lot of times when you carry it in your ass cheeks, good into the yard or wherever you gotta go, it might got a little something on it. So that's why this is called a turd. So anyhow, me and Money, I can't get to the yard in the morning. Money Mike is yard crew, so he can get outside. I can't, so I'm mad. I'm pacing in the cell, wishing I could punch through a concrete. I want to get out there and be active because I'm Young Dirk. So when they let him out early to the yard. They come to me, they come back to the cell. They like, hey, is Money Mike in the cell? Is he trying to come outside? I said, yeah, Money Mike right here, let me out. Man, they let me outside. I had a battery pack and I had the flat. I had the flat, which is an iron flat, like a knife, about this long, but it's flat. So Money Mike couldn't get it outside because they had a metal detector. So I was able, since I came out after the fact, I got the flat. So when I come outside, it's about 30 Bloods and about 90 Crips. And I'm like, oh man, it's going down. So when I see the homie Boo from Raymond talking to the homie Juba from 59 Brown, they like, Boo say he didn't say it all of a sudden. He say, and we out here for you. And you didn't say it. So anyhow, Boo's young homie was like, I take the fade with Concrete, the one that did the disrespecting. So his young homie come and fire on Concrete out of nowhere. Bam, when he fire on him, all of a sudden, Concrete go back, because Concrete is big old J-Cat. He go back with slow motion to come back. Boom, boom, boom. He dropped 3. And the homie that took off on him, now we got to hold Concrete back from the dude that just fired on him. So when the homie Teflon grab him and walk him off, we like, nah, man, let him go. The police in line the top. Now they got guns, so they line in the top. They ready because they know it's spunky. So then next thing you know, the dude that Concrete just took down, he didn't hop back up off the ground like the Exorcist and came in swinging. Bam! Same thing happened. The Concrete cocked back and hit him. Boom, 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 drop him. But when he did that, my celly, Money Mike, was having words with one of his homies. So next thing you know, he was like, well, shit, what's up? He was like, well, fuck it, it's on. I was in Blood Alley down the way, and I seen the scuffle, but my plan is to run through the smoke and come out on the other end. So once Money Mike go around the table and stab Crip dude in the neck, I come running down Blood Alley. And dude, I ain't gonna say his name, but he was running from the situation. He was one of the dudes that started. I cocked back, tried to stab his throat out, but it went to he got lucky, basically. So then when he got away, I kept on running. The same dude my celly stabbed in the neck, he's standing around bouncing, talking about what the fuck. So
He put his dukes up. I put mine up. He seen the knife. He turned to run. I hit him. Hit him in his side. So then next thing you know, then I see another Crip on the side of him. When I stabbed him in the stomach, it went in. But when he turned around and I tried to stab him in his back, the knife bent. So while the knife bent, I'm on this basketball court. It's smoke.
For the
People
record,
screaming,
y'all hearing this
gunshots and
story,
everything.
I ain't
I'm on a
proud of this
basketball
shit,
court
so y'all know
with the
that.
bent knife, trying to straighten it out. Looking back at the dude I just stabbed. So anyhow, when I get it straight, when I get the knife bent, get somewhat straight, I seen the dude over on the side. And if you ever in a riot in prison, one thing you don't do is prone out where it's spunky. So he wasn't my homie. And, I asked God to forgive me. It's a lot of my homies know this story. It's a classic one, but I asked God to forgive me. But I crawled up over and I stabbed him in his face, but I thought it was an enemy because we're in war mode or whatever you want to call it. So when the smoke clear, I hear all the blood's over here, I'm running, crawling through the smoke. I take my knife off, I throw that. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I'm pumped. I'm a young homie, I'm pumped. So I'm like, I want platinum stripes. I stabbed that nigga, I'm calling him off. So next thing you know, the dude that was under the table that I did that to, I'm like, yeah, I stabbed his ass too. Then it's like the record stopped. And they all just looked at me. I'm like, what? It was like, man, that's the Christian dude. I was like, oh, man. And from then on, I looked at stuff a little bit different. Like, I don't say that to glorify that, but I say that to show you the mind frame that we're in. When you're in a level 4 prison, you ain't got no time for no regrets or nothing like that. I didn't see some stuff. Well, I didn't see where two people got a problem with each other and they just stab it out until there's nobody left. So I didn't see situations where people didn't stab each other literally to death. I didn't see situations where people didn't jumped off the tier and ended their life, and I didn't want to be known as one of them. So that's why I was always front line for everything that I could. So then I got to a point, like we was talking earlier, economics. Economics is really kind of what saved me from all the glory shit that I was participating in early on. And getting closer to going home too.
For all the viewers and subscribers who would like to become part of the supporting crew at $4.99 a month and contribute to the Fresh Out channel, this is what you'll be getting. An exclusive look at all up-and-coming Spreads episodes. Learn what ingredients and recipes are used in prison to elevate the eating experience and how to get creative with what's available. Get your name in the credits. By becoming a member to the channel, you are directly helping us create better content, and as acknowledgement, your name will be shown in the credits of the Fresh Out interviews. You will also gain exclusive members-only access to footage that has never been seen before from our archives, unreleased episodes, behind the scenes, bloopers,
Big Hurt,
and that gritty stuff you guys like to talk about, but we can't really share on the regular YouTube channel.
Commercials and
Biannually, you'll also get a commissary package. First 6 months, membership will get an apparel package,
shirt. Y'all ever had a
Fresh Out
clothing shirt?
And the next 6 months, you guys will get a spreads package with all the recipes and ingredients you'll need to bust that fat ass spread. Last but not least, as an additional perk for supporting the channel and helping us create bigger and better content, all members get an exclusive discount code to use in the Fresh Out commissary store. You'll receive 10% if you post on the channel. You guys, we hope you heard Fresh Out.
Everything. We fuck with Hurt. Everything. Hey. What's happening to all my subscribers, man? This is a downgrade because my other phone, due to conflict, marital conflict,
that phone met its untimely death. So anyhow, I ain't told the story. It's been about a week or so. I just been dropping randoms, but I've been trying to adjust. I mean, I just touched down back in Vegas, yesterday morning after being in that Georgia stuff, and this even though I was back in Georgia for like a week, I mean like a month. That month seemed like 3 months though. I went through hella shit, and then having to drive, looking over my shoulder all the time. Look, it's in Atlanta. It's hella Challengers and Chargers. Hell of them, and that's what the police be rocking. They be rocking them Chargers and shit. So every time how they be running places, I be running headlights, looking in the running headlights. Who is them? But there's a hella Chargers and Challengers in Atlanta. But anyhow, so now now I'm back on the West. Now I can smoke my weed and get to doing me. And dropping stories and funny shit on y'all, because that's what it's about, man. I ain't being myself. I ain't sharing with y'all. But man, I do need help trying to upgrade this equipment though. So once I can figure out what kind of equipment I want, I'm gonna try to do better about it, because it's a process. But anyhow, this story is about the time, man, I had to turn it down. The police, I had a fair one with the police, free one. And then my celly turned it down. Anyhow, so check this out. So the homies on the yard, right? They done got into it with the police at Canteen over some beans, right? The motherfucker had, if you get rowdy or loud at the store when you going shopping in prison at the canteen, what they'll do is they'll try to take shit back and refuse your store. And we be on lockdowns and shit, so we be starving. So motherfuckers ain't doing no plan when they come out the when they come out to go to the store and shit. So the police was like, I'm not giving y'all beans. So it was a tug of war. Tug of war turned into a motherfucking a wrestling match on the yard. I ain't gonna say the homie's name, but it was a homie that was right there while the homies was tussling with the police, right? And it's a situation where you gotta ask yourself, what would you do? But the Crips looked at the homie, was like, ain't you gonna help your homies? Man, the homie said, man, there's got to be a better way. But in the pen, you supposed to go. If they say I'm with the police, too, that's the serious part. If niggas is getting into it with the police, you ain't got no choice but to get into it. That's kind of unfair, but that's what it is. So, anyhow, as we in the cell, me and my celly, I got that crazy ass celly, man. He hella emotional, hella extra too. But we trying to get out the cell, we can't get out. So he started dissing the police. Pink booty motherfucker. Pink booty motherfucker. And then the police, shit. This motherfucker said, what cell is that? What cell said that? My celly said, my cell motherfucker. My cell motherfucker. I'm like, oh, he said, crack that door. We supposed to be on lockdown. That motherfucker said, crack that door. He said, come in the office. Man, we walked around the whole building on the door watching us. Man, we walked around the corner to the office. We went up in that office. He was like, what's up, man? I'll take both of you motherfuckers right now. I'll take both of you motherfuckers. What's up? Come on. Man, at the same moment, the bitch in the tower opened the slot to the top of the, she opened a slot to the top of the room, like they can see, open the thing and look into the room. She cocked that Mini 14 and got to aiming it. I was like, man, I told my celly, man, fuck that shit, nigga. Come on, let's go. Let's get him. She cocked that motherfucker, said, give me a reason. And in my mind, I'm like, man, fuck that shit. But my celly said, man, we went back to the cell. We turned it down. I was like, oh. So, I mean, it was a lesson learned, but I was willing to go. I was going to go. But if I would have went with my emotions and all that, not thinking, yeah, how can I explain two niggas beating up the police? She'd have shot the shit out of us. She'd have shot the shit out of us. But at the end of the day, I ended up respecting that police and the motherfucker, because they don't do that shit. This motherfucker said, crack that door on lockdown, because the homies done got into it with the police on the yard. And my dumb ass Sally, out of emotion, he gonna get on the door and get the disrespect of the police. Man, almost talked us into a murdering. Hey, Dirty what? Gone. Man. What's happening to all my subscribers once again? Each and every one of y'all, everybody that comment, all that.
good, bad, I don't even care. As long as you comment and tuning in. Man, I appreciate y'all. So, I made it back to California, right? The first thing I did is, man, I went to Barstow, which is like, as soon as you get outside of Vegas, it's like the first big town you're gonna run into in California. Man, I was in Barstow when that motherfucker door open, getting my motherfucking driver's license. Florida robbed me for my shit. But in Florida, right, like I said, if you got insurance and you got license, if you don't pay your insurance, they gonna take your license too. They gonna take it both. So you just gonna be driving one day, they pull you over, pull over, you gonna gladly give me your license, like, nigga, my shit, all that. And they gonna come back and cuff you up like they did me. So now I'm back. I got my L's again, and my tags are legit. So on that note, we gonna have a motherfucking ice house. Cause I don't really drink hard beer like that. But we gonna have an ice house on that. And I'm gonna finish the story about this motherfucker Lil Daddy. It was somebody in particular that got at me that wanted me to finish that. And I'm gonna be honest. I didn't finish it right away because it's hella emotions attached to that motherfucker Lil Daddy. Because he did me worse than anybody did me in prison. He did me worse than anybody did me. And I'm going to tell you why. So, when I pop up on Solano level 3, you know, Lil Daddy kept following me around and shit. He kept following me around talking about, you know, don't you remember me from Salinas Valley, man? You used to look out when you used to come around doing the sports sign-up stuff. I was like, you know, I kind of remember him, kind of don't. But he hanging around, man, and he realized real quick, I don't like bullies. I don't like bullies at all. If I see somebody getting bullied, I'll probably be the one to stand up and be like, look here, pick on me. I'm that type. So Lil Daddy seen that, man, and he locked in on it. So one day we on the yard, and he showed me a picture of his sister. And to see if I liked it. Come to find out, he been running this game on hella people. But, you know, I bet, because he calling himself my little brother now. So, I bite. I'm like, man, hook me up with your sister, man. She kind of dicking things. So, he tell me to write her a letter. So, I'm writing letters. He telling me she got them, and she said something, man, it's a letter in the mail. Her birthday come around. I get a car. I go to the canteen and buy 2 cards for her. I'm trying to knock her because I ain't got no female. At all. So I'm feeling kind of lonely. Motherfuckers going on visits and shit. You know, I'm stuck watching sports and shit. So anyhow, my mom, man, and on a side note, man, my homie Yovan, that nigga, that man, his grandma Edna, rest in peace. I got an Edna, was like, Edna, I ain't had no woman, man. What am I doing wrong? She said, baby, don't worry. The right woman will find you. Okay, so she found me and lassoed me. But anyhow, back to the story. So, Lil Daddy, man, I'm like, man, what's up, man? You going on visits? And she said, yeah, my sister coming. So he got me telling my mama, come up here on this day because his sister's coming out, and I'm trying to link up with him and his sister. So anyhow, man, I come out there one day, and he ain't out there the day he was supposed to be out there. He wasn't out there. So when I go back to the building, like, what's up, man? He act like he on the phone going crazy talking to whoever he talking to. And I should have seen that was fishy then, that he was putting extras on it. I should have seen it. But I wasn't tripping then, because I'm you know, this little bruh. And, you know, I'm a loyal motherfucker. Once I call you bruh, you bruh. So anyhow, so we move in the cell together. Man, I say not even a week into the cell, right? Man, why was I cleaning up the cell? Man, I'm doing it too. I got hella shit. I got, man, 4 boxes, like, I got like like 2 boxes of food, 2 boxes of canteen, 2 TVs, 2 Super 3s, equalizers hooked to the Super 3. Super 3 is like a boom box type of thing. But I got a Sony boom box with an oval TV. I got a handheld TV and somebody TV up under the bunk that owed me some money. I got fans. I got metal hot pots because we was cooking fat shit up in that thing. We was cooking fried fish. My fried fish tastes like chicken in them deep metal hot pots we had up in that thing. All right, hella shit. So, anyhow, man, one day this motherfucker at work, right? And I just happened to be cleaning up. I'm on the top bunk because he was there first. I'm cleaning up down behind his TV. Why did I find a motherfucking birthday card that I sent to his sister? I think my whole life changed. My whole life changed when I found that card. And for the record, I don't even drink beer. But this celebration, because I got my L's, bitch. But, so, I found this card, and the motherfucking, it was the birthday card that I sent to his sister. So I was like, what the fuck? This dude been playing me the whole time. The whole time. So, man, I pull his box out from under his bed. I'm like, motherfucker. So I start going through his shit. Man, I found every motherfucking letter I wrote his sister. Every letter I wrote his sister. Ah, man. The emotions. So, I'm going to let y'all figure out what happened. All I know, I'm going to tell you the end result. He came back from work. Let's see. He came back from work, and he ended up on the top bunk, and I took the bottom bunk after I scratched him a little bit. I ain't gonna say I stabbed him, but I scratched him. I scratched him and threatened him and all that shit. But when he turned into a hoe, my aggression was gone. Like, oh man, this is a little bitch. She gonna tell on me too anyway. So this nigga sold me this dream. What I didn't know was that he was bipolar. I heard of bipolar, like, moods and switching and all that. But bipolar, when you out of touch with reality, I did not know nothing about that. You make up fake characters and all that shit. I didn't know nothing about that, man. So I was caught off guard, man. I was hurt. That was the first time I was really, really, hurt like that. Motherfucker played me. And then everybody in the yard didn't even fuck with Lil Daddy like that until they see me fucking with him. So then when he did that, I was in a position where I couldn't even say nothing to the homies because this nigga didn't play me. So anyhow, man, so then about, 3 weeks later, that's when the motherfucking police come to the cell and I go take them on a high-speed chase and all that. So then from the high-speed chase, then I told you I went on suicide watch. First I went on potty watch and they didn't get nothing from me, remember, because I ate the little shit that I had. And then from potty watch, I went to suicide watch. Remember the first time they tried to hit me with the second time they hit me with the needle and we tussled in the motherfucking thing. Then I went on the suicide watch. Then I went on my journey, right? Then when I came back, they put me on the yard. Like me and Lil Daddy was cellies on the 2 yard. Now they come back and I'm on the 1 yard. And I told my celly, I asked about Lil Daddy. He said, Lil Daddy in the other building. I said, oh, nigga. He is? Lil Daddy, he is? Oh, yes. So that very next morning, when that door opened, first of all, he kept ducking me for about 2 days. There's 2 chow halls in Solano. So when your building comes, they'll put you in like one, and then the next building comes, they put you in the other. Then the first come, first leave. So what I did, I had to, because if I figured out what he was doing, he was getting his chow and going back to the building hella fast. So what I did is I just said, fuck that chow, and I just waited for him outside the chow hall. So he had his cousin Roland with him. Because I don't know if Roland knew or not. But as soon as that nigga came out the chow hall, I was chasing, I was running. Full speed trying to get that nigga. They looked at me running after him and joined the chase. Like, what this nigga running chasing this nigga for? So they got it in. The homies ended up getting in the middle of us. I'm trying to swing on this nigga around the homies. We just like sidestepping around the homies. I'm trying to swing on him. And then his cousin was like, His cousin said, man, what's going on? I told him, man, when I went to the hole in that other yard, that nigga Little Daddy took all my shit. All I had was a box and a motherfucking fan, a box of my legal documents and my fan. There was no food, no cosmetics, no radios, no TVs. He took everything. So his cousin said, look, man, I'll pay for it. Whatever he took, I'll pay for it. I said, but that nigga got some of my shit in his cell right now. Right now. So I made that nigga, we walked to the building, that nigga got his cell open, nigga, I walked in his cell with him. I unplugged my shit. That nigga had my Iowa TV. That motherfucker had my he had my boombox all prettied up with his name on it and shit. I was and matter of fact, he had cosmetics on his shelf too. I took all them just on GP. This mine. And he had to pay me, he paid me canteen like 4 or 5 months. I mean, not even 4 or 5 months, like 3 months until I ended up getting into the police that I got the staff assault on the female. She realized I was back on that yard. First off, I wasn't supposed to be back in that pen. If you get a staff assault, you're not supposed to be gone. I mean, you're not supposed to be back. This bitch was back not only was she there, but she was on the yard that they put me on. So I'm walking by her with my beanies all low, trying to be incognito. And then one day I was at work and they called me down from the hill to the program office. I knew it was all bad. They called me in. Man, they put me in the motherfucking cage. They was like, yeah, Valdez found out you was back and she don't think she's safe here. So you gotta go. Oh, man. But anyhow, so I think I'm sure I seen Lil Daddy at Folsom, but I didn't speak to him because the pain was too raw. So about 3 years later, I'm at Vacaville and I see Lil Daddy in the kitchen. This nigga once I seen him, I was trying to decide I'm about to go home in a year and a half. Do I get on this nigga or not? Cause he in a wheelchair. This how caught elephantitis. Elephantitis. His motherfucking legs was like this. I'm talking about like this. So he was on the yard one day, and then somebody said, Lil Daddy want to talk to you. Man, I went over there. I came over there to him in his wheelchair. I said, I know you can't possibly think in a million years that it was about to be a good reception. Motherfucker, you hurt me more than anybody ever in prison. And you think I'm about to come over here and it's going to be fine? Man. And I went in on him until he was crying. Then next thing you know, it was yard recall. And I told that nigga, you push your motherfucking self back to the building. Because, man, fuck you. I'm gone. Anyhow, that's what happened to Lil Daddy, man. That's what happened to that motherfucker stole my shit. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Gone. Man, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be honest, man. I got to be honest. Sometimes, like I say, sometimes you victorious in your stories, sometimes you lose. Shit. I got punked by the white boy. Yep. Sure did. That was a hard pill to swallow too. Cause I didn't even realize I got punked. I didn't even know. Shit. I learned afterwards though. Cause we in the branch, RBF. We in the lockdown side. It is a long row of cells on each side of the hallway. Long row. You be bad stuff happening to you back there in the back. Cause the police area hour. Anyhow, so I'm an RBL. And we young, man. We young niggas. We make it. It's like 11, 12 o'clock playing. We wild in our tank. But like I said, it's a long hallway of tanks on both sides. So next thing you know, man, in the tank across from us, this little ass white boy, I'm talking about, this little ass white boy could have been no taller than like 5'4". But this white boy walked to the bars and said, hey man, y'all being hella loud and disrespectful. If y'all got, and if you need to cut that shit out. If you got a problem with it, you can see me on the yard. I was like, I looked around. I was like, all right. I went and got on the bunk, right? That was I didn't think nothing of it. I went and got a bunk. Man, shit. That next motherfucking yard, man, this nigga look like Suge Knight. I'm talking about they call him Big Hank. That nigga look like Suge Knight, easy, but like 6'6". He ain't even have no neck. He in the tank with the white boy that said that to us. So Hank like, youngster, come here. So I come over there, he said, don't you ever let no white boy talk to you like that. Don't let no other race talk to you like that. That was disrespectful. He called you out. He called you out. Then he called another dude over there. He was like, hey, man, what'd happen if a white boy or somebody say, another race say something to you like that, call you out, tell them to meet you on the yard? Dude was like, oh, yeah, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we about to, yeah, hell yeah, we about to tear this motherfucker up. Yeah, it's going down. So they looked at me again and said, youngster, don't you ever forget that. And then he walked off. I was standing there like, damn, I just got some real life game. That mean a white boy punked me. That won't happen again. But anyhow, that was a lesson. That was a quick county jail lesson. Gone.
Man, rest my grandma's soul, man. But one time, man, my grandma set me smooth. See, y'all be thinking because y'all grandmas is older and stuff that they ain't got moves, like they ain't slick, or they won't set you up. Man, I had a stealing problem when I was younger. I used to steal from my grandma. My grandma leave her coin purse and I go in that thing, man, I pluck like $5, $10 or something. You know, I try not to be too greedy about it, but I was plucking from grandma regularly. And she would give me probably anything I asked for too, but I was plucking. So then one time I go in there, I'm thinking grandma watching TV, you know, I walk by the room, then grandma walk off somewhere. So I strike. I go in there, open the coin purse. Man, she had $5 left. $5. Man, what you know, I yoinked it. $5. Man, I say about 10 minutes later, my grandma called me in there so politely. Curtis, go out there and get a switch. It was like she just changed. I just felt it. Like I thought I was cool. Hi, grandma. Hi, grandma. She said, go out there and get a switch. I just felt all the hair raise up. And it was like a fear wave just went down me because I know this ain't the same grandma no more. She didn't change. Man, she said, go out there and get a switch. Man, my grandma must have picked me up. I mean, my little legs was dangling. They was just dangling. She picked me up with that switch. My grandma beat me in a circle. That was my last $5, you know. So it was every hit was last $5. And I had never got whooped by my grandma either. Man, after that, I didn't have a stealing problem no more. Fat meat was greasy. Grandma, she gonna go crazy. I wouldn't even take no candy, no soda. I ain't even drinking the Kool-Aid without asking grandma after that one. Shocked my little world. Dirty what? Go. I said, go. On top of that, one time, I should have went to breakfast on time. I should have, but I was lagging. That's what happened. I was lagging. So I'm one of the last people off the tier. So I go get my breakfast. So I'm coming back. I'm getting ready to go to work. It's about 8 in the morning. The last people coming out of the chow hall. All of a sudden I hear, I look up, they thump. All I know is it's blacks and whites. That's all I know. So I run down there. I run to the incident. I get on the first white boy I seen. The first one. You know, because you ain't going to pick and choose, just white. Whatever white get. Because it's on. It's a riot, obviously. So as I'm getting on this white boy, I look up, and my same partner, he right there by my side. This same homie from junior high in the pen, the same homie I saved, is side by side with me, putting in work. Only fucked up thing is he did it moving. He was right. He got that shit got on like he was supposed to. I stayed in and got to keep it on and shit. And they sprayed me in the corner and out the corner with that motherfucking pepper spray. So then here's the fucked up thing. What happens is a white and when you a white boy and you like a gang member or something like that, back then it was a green light. Them skinheads will figure out which kamikaze ones they gonna send, and they gonna get on you. The white Crips, yes, they was getting on white Crips. White Bloods, I don't know. It was something about White Bloods that they didn't really fuck with, because White Bloods was not turning shit down. They couldn't. From the hood all the way to the pen, they couldn't turn shit down. So I don't know. It was like they didn't really fuck with the White Bloods, but some of them they did. So then what happened is, we'll know. Like if a white gang member hit the yard, the whole yard, all the blacks gonna know, oh yeah, it's one here. We're gonna watch out for him. And we're gonna make sure we're gonna observe and see if they surrounded them or anything like that. And everybody know, and then because it's inevitable. It's gonna happen.
Man, Young Dirt here, man. So, man, I appreciate my subscribers, man. They're getting deeper, man. I haven't been posting as much as I, like every day on it, but I'm gonna keep it steady. So, this story right here. So you got a lot of dudes in prison, right? They think because they fighting all the time. Like I get out and I fight this nigga. You got niggas that fight like quick as a motherfucker, and they always getting their ass beat. But a motherfucker gonna respect somebody like that versus somebody who talking and ain't gonna back it up. At least that motherfucker gonna take an ass whooping because he gonna go. But to them other talkers that think because they fight, that they the hardest motherfucker on the yard, hell nah. You got people walk around the yard, don't say nothing to nobody. They don't even bother nobody, but let you do something to them. And you're going to be like, damn, I didn't fuck with the devil. Because people be trapped inside their own insanity, and you disturb them from that insanity, and boy. So when somebody come up to me and they talk tough in prison, we talking about prison, because I'm a changed person from how I used to be. I tell them, if you ain't ever wrote a letter home to your mom because you in a situation that you don't know if you gonna make it up out of, then you ain't been to the max in there. Like you just going through day to day. But max, I'm gonna describe what the max is. Y'all done already heard the war story with the Blood and Crip riot. Well, this is part 2. So anyhow, when they take us back in the cells and shit, right?
Where we
Me
at?
and my cellie, we ain't been again. When the traumatic shit be happening in the pen, sometimes you end up not talking to your cellie for days because y'all be in y'all thoughts. So what happened is, motherfucker just stabbed up some shit.
Man.
So he like, man,
Thank y'all for coming through.
why
y'all.
we on lockdown?
Checking out my
Why we
story.
on lockdown? Remember, Blood Crip riot. Now we on lockdown. The IE Crips, the IEs function different. In Inland Empire, they function different. They function Bloods and Crips together. So they are forced in themselves, because if you know your history,
IE Crips ain't no joke.
I was on some Rescue Wood 911 shit real. But I'm gonna die. Anyhow. So the way IE functions, they a tight-knit community. You mess with one, you gotta mess with a ball. So anyhow, a dude from IE comes, but he's a Blood. But he really used to be with the Dago car. That's where he's supposed to be from. But this dude got problems with Marcelli, and Marcelli is from San Diego. He's from Lincoln. That's Marcelli. He go, I go. So, man, this dude, so he sends over a kite because he got problems with my celly. I'm just telling my celly, I'm gonna get y'all the fast version too. I'm gonna just tell you
This
this.
shit hella funny.
When dude came around the pod, man, we asked the celly, the homie, how big is this nigga? The homie said, oh, he a little nigga. Man, when that nigga came in the pot, he came in like this. But I looked at my celly, I was like, man, we gonna have to jump hill. Straight up.
Y'all heard
Like
that?
jump
We gonna
hill.
have to jump that
So,
nigga.
next thing you know, the only way we can make this happen is during a cell move because we on lockdown for the Blood and Crip ride. So we gotta do this in the cell move. So we holler at the IEs and let them know what's up because he function with them too, and they like. So we thinking we got, and plus me and my celly cool with him, so we thinking we got the green light. So in the midst of all of this, we're getting kites under the door from Crips on the yard. We're gonna kill you. We're gonna kill you. We know what y'all do. We're gonna kill you as soon as these doors open. He ain't really in that. They ain't in that. But now this is taking place, and now they about to be in it too. And in our building, it's like 8 cells upstairs and 8 cells. I mean, in my pod, 8 cells up, 8 cells down. So in this pod, if you want to go to the yard and you gotta go to the right, all them cells is IE, all of them.
Dirty smoking with
But
dirty.
where
Yes.
the other homie that got the problem with my celly, he had the other pod,
That's
so we
funny.
didn't know how he looked. That's why when he came in like this, we was like, oh shit, we gonna have to jump this nigga. So anyhow,
I used to spit.
what ended
That
up
used to be
happening
nasty.
is we do the fake cell move. The homie lock him out, meaning like he just said he can't come back in the cell. So I said, you can come to my cell. It's all good. So when they're doing the cell move, me and Money Mike was gonna get them. They got problems from some street shit that happened. It ain't supposed to come to the pen, but they got their own problems. But it didn't matter. This myself. So when we're doing the cell move, I got Money Mike shit. Well, no, I'm grabbing some of Money Mike shit, and they cuff Money Mike up. So automatically, it's gonna be me and this big ass nigga. So Money Mike, he start moving his shit. He grab his last bag because he the one that's moving to the other cell. When Money Mike grab his bag, he go to there, he say, blood, it ain't even gonna happen. I said, blood, if I say it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Dirty.
I grabbed his Quran,
16 people
walked
watching,
out on a
babe.
tear
That's
to the
right.
nigga that was moving in the cell with me because I can't have this nigga step in the cell with me. He might beat my ass in this cell. So I gotta do what I got to do. So
You want me to share it to your channel? I can.
I walk up to him, hand him the Quran, and then I said, oh, this my cellies. As soon as he took it, I got on him. Bing, 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 bing. I hit him with the left. Bam. He go to his knees. When he go to his knees, he grabbed me. Bam. And he picked me up. And he walked me to the rail. And he set me on top of the rail. And we on the upstairs.
Black
So
money.
he's trying to push me off the chair. This dude is like, he about like 5'8", 5'9", but solid 200. I'm 5'11", but I'm about a buck 60, buck 65. So him picking me up, that really wasn't shit. But he had my ass cheeks on the rail, the top rail, and I was leaning back, about to go. I had one foot hooked on the rail, bam, then the other foot was about to start going. And right when right before the other one slipped, the police sprayed him. When they sprayed him, man, I shimmied up.
We're sharing your channel now, babe.
Shimmied up off of them rails and got to getting them some more. Bam, bam, bam.
Christian,
Man, and
what's
they
up?
sprayed me. They sprayed me. I've told this story before, but I'm really telling it to freshly because some of y'all that haven't heard it. But they got this orange shit. A pepper spray back in the days used to be clear. Then they switched to some shit in like 2000, 2001, 2-ish. It's orange agent citrus something. But that shit, man, they sprayed me with that shit and I had braids. Man, they sprayed me with that shit and my nuts was on fire. I was in the shower 3 days later, showering, and my nuts went back on fire because that shit was still in my hair. But when they hit me with it, man, I was on the ground saying, please cuff me up. Please cuff me up. Begging to get cuffed up.
Man, that pepper spray, no joke.
So here goes some game for you. If you ever get pepper spray. So I'm in the tank trying to put water in my eyes and shit. And then the police come by. He got pepper spray too, because the bitch sprayed him. The police that sprayed me, his partner sprayed him on accident.
Shout out to y'all that's watching.
But I'm in this motherfucker on
we
fire.
Smoking with dirty
this motherfucker
smoking.
Coming the thing with his bag. He ready to go home. His shit red and puffy, but he ready to go home. He can see fine. I'm like, what the fuck? And I asked him later. He said, baby shampoo. If you ever get pepper spray, baby shampoo, I guess it absorbs whatever's in your pores hella fast. That's just some game that they told me. But anyhow, these motherfuckers came back about a week later. These motherfuckers charged me with battery on a motherfucking inmate. They come to the door. They like, Williams, yeah, you getting ready to go to the hall? I'm like, for what? So the story is, he stepped in the cell, and I beat him down a tier, and that was that. So he charging me with assault, man. That was crazy. So they ended up coming get me, and I ended up going to the hall. Part 2 will be about the summer. Gone. I said gone. Oh yeah, divorce court next month. Check me out. Dirty Weather. Gone.
Since day one, we've been on the move. Hustling and holding things, it's how we move. Bam, get off of here.
This that shit. I ain't country, I'm a city boy.
Man, what's happening with my subscribers, man? I appreciate y'all, man. I see that. I see when I drop videos, you know, the views go up a little bit faster than they used to. I mean, people still tuning in, man. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Weird guy, where you at? Weird guy, you ain't been saying nothing, man. Shouts out to Scott, man. Shouts out to Scott. Shouts out to the homies that's tuning in, right? So, this story right here about this video y'all just watched. Well, I'm gonna give y'all some details, right? So I was in Tracy. This is when I was in Tracy in 2017, summertime, right? So I work in the kitchen. I work in the kitchen in the morning and the night. That's not too. You don't see too many people pulling that off, where you working 2 jobs in reception of all places. So anyhow, I'm walking down the hallway getting ready to go to work, and I see these police whispering and shit. They keep whispering, and they holding out phones, and they looking. I'm like, man, something ain't right, man. This must have been something happened, 9/11 or something. I don't know. So when I get to work, I see what they talking about. So somebody, I'm in J Wing. Well, in G Wing, somebody then threw somebody over the tier. I'm talking about. Threw him off the tier. Got in a fight, threw him over the tier, right? So I'm like, damn, all right, you know, fight over the tier. But they like, no, somebody recorded it and put it online, and it went viral all in one night. I was so in the morning when I'm coming to work, I'm seeing the aftermath like, damn. So then we go to the yard. We find out it was the homie Gotti. This motherfucker that recorded, he ain't the homie really like that. I ain't gonna lie. He went ugly. But he didn't record the motherfucking thing with his phone, right? So by the time they had this yard, they didn't already hit his cell and got the phone and everything. When that shit went viral, they was at his door. Got his shit, right? So what happened is this. The white boy that went over the tier, his name is Dewey. Yeah, Dewey. So Dewey, he get tossed over the tier for whatever reason. I don't know why. But it's a lot of foul shit the white boys be doing in reception, though. But they threw him over the tier, right? Dewey survives. He got like a broken back, some spleen issues. But this motherfucker Dewey, he didn't move from after he didn't got through over the tier, went viral and all that. First thing the white boys was saying is like, our homie recorded that shit and it went viral, so they want us to discipline him.
Nah.
Hell no. You're not doing that. Even though, you know what, thinking back, maybe shit might have been different, but just ain't no other race about to just force our hand and make us do that. So we kind of had to, kind of stand our ground. Even though, they got rules in the pen, like right now, they got rules in the pen where if you record a felony in progress and you post it online yourself or something like that, man, you about to be on the menu. You probably about to get an issue. So that's rules that are and that have been implemented in prison when it comes to people with phones and recording felonies. But back then in 2017, it was kind of like shocking to us all. This motherfucker then posted something that went viral, like that. So anyhow, they didn't move Dewey from G Wing to Into My Wing. Dewey all right. He all right. I watched this motherfucker Dewey go from a wheelchair. All of a sudden, he didn't nurse himself, back to health. He was the head wood in charge before. Now he's not the head wood in charge, but he's still on the yard. So that tells you something about somebody that got thrown off the tier. You still on the yard after you done got thrown off the tier. You must be a little something. You must got your name must hold a little water. So we thought. So one day we on the yard, right? Remember, Dewey didn't go to the hole after this. He went from wheelchair, nursed himself back in the cell. Man, we look up, right? And then Tracy, man, I'm gonna keep it 100. The PCs, because they go out separate from us. Man, every time them motherfuckers go to the yard, the goddamn yard goes down. I done been in motherfucking canteen, stuck in canteen.
He hit the flow, you got hustle, yeah, I know. I'm from every part of Sac, I'm tunes. Been me since I met me, and that was hella times, so it's like hella knees.
Start selling online with
All right, so everybody that came through for my little hour and some change, little watch party thingy thing, I hope that new people came through to see what Dirt Nation was built on. And thank you, Drina, for sharing. Thank you, Black Money, Rancho Chavas, Caitlin Kidd, Billy, Smack, Zincal. Appreciate y'all. Smoke Diggity. Caitlin Connect. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Yes. Dirty Weather's greatest hits. There will be more to come. You got to remember, we got a lot of content. Dirty. Gone.